the absolute state of British universities. Honestly, if you send your teenager to a British university, it should be considered like child abuse. If you want to know how bad they are, look how Sargon of Akkad is talking recently, and then watch some of his videos from 2018. Night and day difference. A British university did that to him. I gotta say, like people in Britain, they want sci-fi level research. They pay sci-fi level money, and they get the clown car in return. This is again like from a university article, right? It's not from the mainstream media. This is not a journalist. This is from people that conduct the studies. And in modern Britain, studies are the word of God. Like they literally worship environmentalism, they worship science, or they worship Allah. So the ones that don't worship Allah, they look at this and they treat it as gospel. And then they ask the government to legislate. Because look, women experience guilt, shame, and exclusion in gaming culture, study finds. Holy shit, this is serious, right? Why didn't I see it? I play video games all day, right? Like, usually the counter argument is like, well, V, you're not a woman. How can you see it? True, I'm not a woman. But if it happens so often, right, like, I would see it in my presence. Like, even if I don't do it, right, maybe I'm one of the broken men that refuse to do these things. Still, like, I would play and I would encounter other men doing it to other women. Never happened. And the reason why it didn't happen is because researchers surveyed 1,000 women of all ages across the UK who play mobile games. They couldn't even find the gamer girl. They couldn't even find the chick that sells the bathwater. And they call this a research. Again, it's the watering down of definitions, like the way it works, and this is why I absolutely hate and despise modern universities. They're not like, the universities from Greece, the academos, where they're trying to figure out the mysteries of universe. So, like, the researcher starts by assuming they don't know anything. They're absolutely clueless about how the world works, and so, like, they're trying to uncover the mysteries of creation. No, these researchers, they know everything. Like, they already assume they know how humanity works, they know everything, and so, like, they have a conclusion, right? Like, women are always oppressed. Let's talk about gaming. How are women oppressed in gaming? And then they try to make a study to justify their claims. That's how modern science works. And I'm telling you this as a person that graduated from med school and law school. You have no idea how often the case this is. Sometimes it happens because of ideology. Like, a person that's a feminist, they make a study, and so they want to come to a ideological conclusion, and then they figure out how to do the study in order for it to show the events that they wanted the study to portray. Or sometimes they're paid by the government, right? Like you have a feminist political party in charge, and they give grants to feminists. They don't have to tinker the studies, they don't have to buy the researcher, but like simply knowing the political leanings of that researcher, they kind of expect what they're going to find. And oftentimes private companies pay for studies. Like, for example, if you have a private company that wants to do a cheap initiative to promote women and girls in games, right? Like, they will pay a researcher in order to find that women and girls are oppressed. And then they will use that researcher to show how moral, superior, and how compassionate the company is, right? And so now that you understand how studies are done, I want you to notice whenever you see like, oh, doctors say, researchers find, then they show you a study, I want you to at least know some of the mechanism that may have gone behind that study before getting published. So anyway, the idea that women experience guilt, shame while playing mobile games. Well, it's not from men, is it? Because, like, no man is playing mobile games. Like, your cock falls off. You know, it's one of the best transgender surgeries that I know. Get a man to play mobile games and all of a sudden his pee-pee falls off. So, probably from other women. Like she's in the bus playing those games. And another woman goes, like, ugh, you play Candy Crush? What is wrong with you? And then all of a sudden she experiences shame. That's the only way that I can explain how it happened. The research was led by Dr. Steph Reddick, lecturing at media at the University of Stirling. Another doctor, lecturer in communication at Cardiff University, in partnership with the Swedish gaming studio Undone Games. Now, if you're wondering what Undone Games is, I urge you to take a seat, because I'm going to show you something wonderful. Are you ready? Okay, like, no, seriously, you need to sit down, because you're going to laugh. Your sides are going to go in orbit, and I don't want you having an accident. Look at the screen right now, okay? This is Undone Games. They chose this thumbnail, not I. Cutting-edge Swedish game developers are coming to London. This is the perfect opportunity for us, says the CEO of Undone Games, which is based in Malmo and is one of the companies traveling to London. We can't wait to go to talk about our game, meet other people within the industry, and connect, right? They don't make relation, they connect with publishers and investors. In other words, you're wondering, well, why don't I meet people like this when I'm playing Call of Duty? Well, like, why don't I meet people like this in my Overwatch games? Well, it's because they have roots into branding and marketing, not into the gaming sphere. Interesting, isn't it? You see a lot of these people in 2025, you know, these companies that their main focus is on the marketplace rather than on the art form of making a good game. Now, it's also interesting the name that they chose, Undone Games, right? In 2025, when most video games are coming out unfinished, made by people that look like this, because like you see the studios posting the pictures and shit, and now it's all coming together. Okay, so like you have a lot of people that know a lot about marketing, but not a lot about making the product. That's interesting. You know, like, could you sell something? Like, if you're good at marketing, but you don't know anything about the product, would you be able to sell it? Kind of a hard job. You know what would be easy? Actually making a good product. And then maybe it can even sell itself. But like, after you made the good product, hire a Belle Delphine type of figure, and she will sell it, and it will do a much better job than this type of marketing. Anyway, right. Holy. There is a growing number of women gamers. Like, this is something that I keep hearing since 2016. Like, the number of girl gamers is constantly growing. The population is declining. We have low birth rates, but the number of women that play games is constantly on the rise. And we need to change gaming because the number of women that play games are rising anyway. Right? Like, I never understood this logic. If you look at a chemical reaction, right, and it's going your way, would you tinker with the ingredients? Like, the reaction you want is already rising, it's going your way. Why would you tinker with anything? Leave it the way it is. They're not saying it's like the number of women was rising until a sharp decline. Let's figure out what happened. So, you know, like, they're not saying that. They're saying it's rising. And therefore, it's kind of like the statistics of women is kind of like a dog taking a pee on a tree. You know, like, it now marked it as its territory. And so it needs to change its shape just because, like, am I wrong though? Like, isn't this how they're treating it? It's like, you have a hobby, and the hobby attracts women, and the moment the hobby starts attracting women, it also attracts the activists that claim, no, now the hobby needs to change because women are... But, like, they were going to the hobby to begin with, right? Like, they were interested in it to begin with. Why change anything? In the survey, 41% of women agreed that playing games is one of the things they most look forward to each day. But almost 60% of them felt that they do not play enough games to consider themselves gamers, and more than 30% agreed that they would be embarrassed to call themselves one. So again, they're making a study about gamers where 60% of their people are saying, no, like, I don't consider myself a gamer. So, like, why would I consider them a gamer if they themselves are basically stating, yeah, I'm not part of this culture? You know, it's like making a study based on people that like heavy metal when 60% of the people say, yeah, I don't call myself a metalhead. Right? They have a name for that. I don't call myself a metalhead. Or making a research about bike riding when 60% of the people say, yeah, I don't consider myself a motorcyclist. this is the level of studies that happen in Britain, okay? Like, they run their nation based on these studies. I just want you to understand this. The talking points, like when you go on the internet and you talk with a British person, chances are it's very likely that they're going to use talking points from their own studies. Doesn't matter the subject. And it's not their fault, right? Because they're bamboozled. They're bewitched like Sargon. They're bewitched by the university. They don't know nothing. They did this to him. Dr. Reddick said that the study shows many women feel excluded from video game culture, with the significant numbers of women feeling guilty about playing video games. They never actually explain why that is, but if you were to task me to make a study, well, I could post the video that I posted yesterday with a female streamer that grenades herself. And then when her teammates start laughing, instead of going, oh, my bad, you know, it is what it is, I'll do better next match, she gets passively aggressive. And then she tries to get her teammates banned. And then she asks for every single man in the fucking world to play Counter-Strike and police the internet for her. And so you're looking at this, and you're like, I can see why that would cause a little bit of resentment. Like, she doesn't trash talk, she doesn't banter back, she doesn't admit her mistake. She weaponizes vulnerability. She points herself as this vulnerable creature that is still capable of banning and removing people from the internet. And then she says, oh, well, I don't know, okay. Interestingly, feeling guilty or keeping secrets about gaming did not correlate with how much time women spent playing video games. We expected a significant proportion of women to report feelings of guilt around playing video games and taking leisure time more generally. Have you ever had a woman that cheated on a man? Right? Like just because she feels shame and guilt doesn't mean that she would stop doing it. If people enjoy the activity, they will keep doing it, regardless of the shame and guilt that they experience. What is it with these researchers? It's almost like they don't know anything about the world. It's like, oh, well, we expected that women would play less if they feel guilt. Have you not dated any? Like, did you not be in a relationship with them? Like they're not this alien tribe that's coming from outer space, from Venus, and we encounter them every once in a blue moon. Like, no, they live with us. You can date one. They're free. No, seriously, like women, they're free. You can go out to a club, you can encounter one, and with her consent, right, for free, you can engage in a relationship with her, and then you can learn about women, so when you make a study, you don't look like a dumbass. Using machine learning techniques to identify connections in data, the experts found some striking patterns. I love how they frame it. In other words, they asked ChatGPT. For example, younger players were more likely to feel guilty about playing video games, with those aged 16 to 24 being 3 times more likely to strongly agree that they feel guilty about taking time to play. Well, I can easily explain this. Again, like, I'm no doctor in a lab coat. I just have something they don't, which is called common sense. If you're going to look at women that play video games on their phone, you also have to ask yourself, where does it happen? Like, where do these women play games on their phone? Chances are, and this is true for most people, they don't play games on their phone while at home. Most people play games on the phone while they're out with their friends at a restaurant and they're bored. They whip out the phone, they play a game. They play it in the bus when they're commuting to work. They're playing it at the workplace, right? And so if we look at the age demographic, 16 to 18, well, probably a lot of them get nagged by their parents, telling them, when are you going to do your homework? When are you going to study? Why are you playing so many games? Stop stealing on the phone so much, right? So they're starting to feel guilt. They're feeling guilt because, like, their parents are telling them they're wasting time. The other ones that, go to a restaurant and they're with their friends and they start playing a game and one of their friends say, hey, why aren't you paying attention to what's happening here? Why are you on your phone? They're starting feeling guilt and shame, right? It's not because they're gamers. It's due to the nature of the activity. But again, like, the way that the researcher is making it, right? Like, at first reading glance, you would imply that, oh, well, because they're women, this is happening. Even though, like, notice how sneaky they are. Like little snakes. They never mention that they're being targeted because they're women, but, like, because the study is done on women, and the study frames it in such a way, you'd think that there is a level of unbridled misogynismus on the entire internet targeting women and girls for playing video games. And so, we need the government to step in and figure out what other addition to Ofcom we need. In order to please Sargon's never-ending hunger for safetyism. Anyway. I just want you to know Britain ruined the internet. I'm not kidding. Britain, listen to me. Britain, the United Kingdom ruined the internet. They are the first ones that had a government initiative of keeping women and girls safe back in 2014, which cemented the first censorship rules on social media. So like the whole concept of terms of service comes from a British initiative and from studies like this. So you think you know how much I dislike these academics, but you don't. Women were twice as likely to feel guilty. The survey also found that 75% of respondents classified themselves as casual gamers, but a quarter of these were also spending more than an hour per day playing video games on a PC or console. I just want you to understand, right? Like, if someone plays an hour a day, would you consider them to be a gamer? Like, in my opinion, gamer was an identity. Like, a gamer is not a person that just plays video games. Because then everyone in the world would be a gamer, and so the title would have no meaning. A gamer is someone that makes time to play video games versus a person that finds time to play video games. A person that plays 1 hour per day phone games, right? That's not a gamer. And the reason that I'm saying this is not to shame the person, because it's not like an award trophy being a gamer. But if in a conversation I say, John is a gamer, like most people assume that he's spending at least 4 or 5 hours a day playing video games, usually like Call of Duty and stuff like that, right? They will never think that I'm talking about a person that is casually on her way to work, picking up her phone and playing a game, because that's their mother, right? Like that's something of a different community, of a different niche. A person that listens to heavy metal on the radio on their way to work because it happens to be on the radio station is not an accurate comparison to call him a metalhead. And this is what these researchers are doing, constantly watering down definitions, bamboozling people like they bamboozle Sargon. Like you need to be aware. They're very sneaky. They get behind you. Real gamer, right? Like they address this. When I ask people if they play video games, often they don't. But if you ask about playing games on a mobile, many of them will suddenly say yes. They have an idea what a real gamer is in their heads, and they don't meet that ideal. No, they have an idea what the definition means, right? And if your definition applies, then there is no such thing as a human being that's not a gamer in 2025. Like almost every person touched a mobile phone. Right? Like, it's like making a classification for people with smartphones. It's dumb and stupid. Everyone has a smartphone now. And so, if you're going to use a classification, use it in the way that most people think. Don't try to change and water it down so that people don't know what you're talking about. Feeling and expressing pride in gaming as a woman. Why would you be proud in gaming as a woman or gaming as a man? Oh, this is like the Sweden talking, huh? It's probably what the Swedish contribution was. It's a difficult balancing act. Women who felt proud of their achievement in games were slightly more likely to keep it a secret than those that did not feel proud. Yeah, but like the percentage is so small, it's negligible. Come on. You know, like I'm willing to bet if you repeat this study again, you're going to find like the percentages being different. This is just like a rounding error. Dr. Roberts added that women tend to spend less time playing if they feel they don't fit into gaming culture. Yeah, but here's the problem. You know, this is why I don't buy the bullshit. If women genuinely like video games but hated the culture, what's to stop them from making their own culture? Seriously, like, why is no one asking this? Wouldn't it make sense? Like, for instance, I can't tolerate leftists. I'm allergic to them, at least the ones from 2025. Like, hopefully the quality of leftists in 2030 will change, and I will be able to integrate with them much more better. But right now, we just don't click. You know, like, I bring misery to them, they bring misery and suffering to me, and so I don't want to play games with them. You know what I do? I play with other right-wingers, right? Like, I can customize my gaming experience by choosing who I play with. Why don't women do the same, right? Like, if that's the problem, if you're generally saying, oh, well, they want to play video games, It's just that they don't like the community. What's stopping them from making their own community? You know, I like feminists. I wouldn't mind if you have like discords, like girls only gamers, and you have only girls playing games with themselves, and it's like, okay, fine. Can I have like male only gamers? No, you can't. You know what? Still fine. I don't fucking care. I am a man. I'm born to suffer. Let women have their shit. Let them have their fun. You know, if they're going to start nagging less, I'll allow it. But they don't do that, right? Why? Because maybe, just maybe, they like to complain. Just think about that, right? Isn't that interesting? Like, have you met a woman like that? She doesn't like solutions. She likes to complain. Oh, those gamers are so mean to me. Ah. But then when she plays the game, she actually enjoys the attention. She's the only one on the team that if she coughs, everyone reacts. If she says something, everyone notices, right? Maybe she genuinely likes the attention and she likes complaining. Does the study account for that? Is that a variable? No. Okay, why not? Huh? My opinion to Dr. Roberts, Dr. Sean Roberts, whether they're male or female, doesn't matter, is to start dating more women. Interact with them, right? Even if you're a woman yourself, like sometimes you realize that your experiences don't transcend to other people. And so encountering and engaging with other people may open up your mind more to the reality of the universe. In the meantime, there's going to be a video right now being promoted to you, okay? I don't know what it is. Apparently the algorithm thinks you'll like it. So if that's the case, click on it. If that's not the case, click on it anyway, and then you will end up liking it, huh? What if you already saw it? Holy shit. Like, if you already saw the video on the screen right now, and the algorithm is presenting it to you, the algorithm is sabotaging me. Like, they should present you something that you haven't seen. I'm going to take it up with Google. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care.